Hello, how are you, Frosty Tools? Lol. Hello, how are you, Sari underscore bot? Lol.
POG Online Poggers.
Touchdown, boots hit Violet's hand. Little green moons spinning over my head. Neon dust on the tongue tastes strange. Every sign in a language I can almost understand.
Hear that echo in the canyon sky. Silver tail lights drawing crooked lines. Every shadow got a secret name. I think I just crossed
Into your game,
Welcome to Planet X.
where the cats dance sideways on the ceiling.
Purple horizon flex.
All the stars spell out what you're feeling.
Link Sable rocks that stage.
Till the comets spin out of their lane.
Welcome to Planet X.
You won't ever walk out the same. Double sun leaking through the club roof cracks. Glitter storms, paint stripes down your back. Zero grab, bar stools drift in pairs. You just laugh as the sparks jump between your hair.
Every heart beats like a laser tag. Every memory's in a purple
You
bag.
say stay until the colors fade.
But the colors grow louder every day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Planet X.
Flat with the cats spin sideways on the ceiling.
Purple horizon flex.
All the stars spell out what you're feeling.
Link Sable rocks that stage.
Till the comets spin out of their lane.
Welcome to Planet X.
You won't ever walk out the same.
In the dust, chasing your echo. You write my name.
In the trails of a gecko,
Laugh in slow motion, mouth full of starlight.
promise me nothing.
Promise me all night. Welcome to Planet X.
Where the cats stand sideways on the ceiling.
Purple horizon flex.
All the stars spell out what you're feeling.
Link Sable rocks that stage.
Blowing holes in the gravity chain.
Welcome to Planet X.
You won't ever walk out the same. You was for the first time. The road is long and lonely. And at the end, far away, out of sight, I can with these two arms embrace the light. As I bid farewell, my heart stops. In tenderness, I feel my silent, empty body begins to listen to what is real. The wonder of living, the wonder of dying, the voice calls in the depths of my heart. Keep dreaming your dreams, don't ever let them fall. I speak of all your sadness or of life's painful woes. Instead, let the same lips sing a gentle song for you. Whispering voice, we never want to forget. Each passing memory, always there to guide you. When my heart has been broken, shattered pieces scattered on the ground, glimpses of new life reflected all around. Dark beginnings, stillness, new light of the dawn. My silent empty body be filled every morning. No need to search, I'm finding no sail across the sea. 'Cause here shining inside me is right here inside me. I found a brightness, it's always within me. La 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 somewhere a voice calls from the depths of my heart. Keep dreaming your dreams, don't ever let them part. Okay, so welcome in guys. I hope everyone's doing good this afternoon as well. And stuff like that. I just want to kind of point out that if you do exclamation mark check-in in chat, you will be put on the check-in leaderboard, which you see in the middle screen there. The more you do it, the more you keep your leaderboard streak. So it's like a leaderboard and a check-in at the same time, and it basically counts as well. And all that stuff. It took me a little bit of time to get it up and running by a little bit of help. So we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy 16 modded if if it works. I'm using Vortex for this, so I'm not too sure if it works. It seemed to be working now because I figured out that because it wasn't working before is because most of the mods weren't being initialized because the login wasn't logged in correctly, but it's now logged in correctly, so I'm just kind of hoping it works. As I said, it's kind of going to end up being a moment of truth if it starts. Or not. I'm not entirely sure. just a couple of things I need to do before it does anything. It's just to yeah, I kind of wish this was basically already. Well, I did have a.
Ah, a bit blue are we? No need to feel in that way. I'll give you all the perfect attention and treats you need. Lol.
See, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just putting in before and after. There is a suggest all, but it's not doing anything. So save all that. As I said, I'm hoping that works. I'm not entirely sure if it will. Still a bit of an issue. I forgot to do a couple or an after. It should start running now. Yeah, it's gonna start up redacted, and truthfully the last time I had redacted it didn't really do anything. I did put redacted in because it probably was necessary. Because I know it, Final Fantasy 16 needs redacted for certain reason. You'll need to kind of give me a minute or two because I need to kind of probably make sure that the game is definitely there. Common, change that to Final Fantasy 16 and save. Even though it's not coming up in the application, so how am I supposed to open up config file? That doesn't do anything. Okay. As I said, it's opened up redacted and I've had to download something, but the only problem is I do have that there. Configure mods. Digimon is there. Yeah, I used redacted for Digimon, but the only thing is that there's nothing there to do with. Let me get rid of redacted. Let's start this back up and see. Yeah, redacted is just going to start up, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out what needs to be done in redacted because it's going to force me to deal with stuff through that before I can start the game. Don't know, I did get the Digimon Time Stranger working through this, so if I can get that working, I should hopefully get the other thing working. Manage modes. Nope. Yeah, I do want to launch application, but it's whether or not it will launch. No, it did not launch. No, it did, but it's just not going to launch what I need it to launch. Like, redacted is a bit weird, and how you basically connect that up to a game. I could take redacted off my mod list, because I probably don't need it, to be honest, but because redacted is just a mod manager. But because I've got it for Final Fantasy 16 in my Vortex mode, it starts that up. A new mod pack. Do I create a new mod pack? See, add an application. EXE. The problem is Steam directory hasn't got the EXE game in the folder, so just kinda wondering how I'm gonna end up doing this.
Giggles, welcome ghastly friends. Boogie on down to this spectacular stream. Lol, ghost emoji.
Unknown error for that. I don't know if I should probably take redacted mode off of there, but I just don't know if it's going to be necessary to need that, but I've got two things in here, so let's remove one of these. Redacted mode manager, remove that because it's coming up with an error anyway. Table. Okay, that's redacted, disabled. So hopefully if I basically start this up, it should basically start. filter on one tool. So, in other words, it technically needs redacted enabled, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm going to end up having to figure out how to actually connect this to I need to figure out how to connect this up so it works on another game, because currently it's set to Digimon at the moment. And that's the only problem with this, is that Redacted doesn't have a startup of game startup. Application, let's see if we can go into Steam, or go onto Steam. Go to there, find Fantasy 16. Hold on, kind of disappeared on me. I was kind of hoping this wouldn't happen, but it has. Yeah, I should have probably tested this. I'm going to properties. Browse. The exec is there, it's just for some reason it's not. Get rid of that. We're going to do a shortcut there. So hopefully, if we go to my PC desktop, and look for the exe, because that's what it's looking for, is the exe for Final Fantasy 16. We do that, and that's now there. Now if I launch application, it cannot process request because of the it keeps bringing me up an HTML code. I've reducted launcher error. Not sure why that's coming up as a launcher error. As I said, I just wish I could just take that mod off and basically just launch it through Vortex and the game starts. But apparently it's trying to launch redacted instead of the actual application. So maybe if I go into game, stop managing give me a sec. Okay, I've taken the game off the Vortex list, maybe only because the directory path was wrong. So let me try this again. Most of my mods should still hopefully be enabled there. Final Fantasy 16, manage, continue. But it's only whether or not I can actually change the path, because I want to change the path somehow. Hold on. I ended up starting up the game, but it doesn't have mods at the moment, and plus it's on the wrong screen anyway. We'll just wait until the shading's done, then we can close the game. I can try and see if I can just close the game. There we go. Okay, so that's the thing though, I don't know if I can basically redirect the path on this, because even if I start that up, hold on, it's starting the game up. That's different, which is actually going to be a good thing, but that came up with an error. Give me a sec. Check this. This is can't be accessed because it's being used in another process. Yeah, that's probably because it was just opened. And and Steam hasn't. Yeah, Steam hasn't stopped it yet. I'm gonna force stop it on Steam, and it's just whether or not that. Okay, so if I start that back up, Steam should hopefully start up. Yep, it's now started on. Yeah, it's now started up on the actual Vortex. So yeah, I've redirected it away from Reloaded or Redacted or whatever it's called. So now the only good thing is now Vortex is now basically playing through it instead. As I said, it's whether or not the mods will basically work. I'll need to go into the display settings and change the display function to the other side because it's on my BenQ and not the other one. It is originally on the right display, originally in the path, because my BenQ was basically what I used for my streams, but now I don't use that for my game stream monitor anymore because of the fact it gave false colouring. Yeah, I hope this works. And I finally figured out how to fix it. Just don't use Redacted Mod Manager. It's useless. If you can get Vortex to work correctly enough, then fair enough, just use that. But because I had Redacted in there, or Reloaded, it was conflicting for that to open as the exe function and not the game. We're just waiting for the shadings to be done. Now, my other problem I might end up having is I've noticed, or me noticed, that some of these mods might not even kick in until later on through the middle of the story. But I hope it doesn't happen that way.
I've got a funny feeling that might not work. Because usually I should be seeing something by now on here. Even on the title screen. Oh, they've all been disabled, and the only thing that's basically enabled is redacted mod manager. So that's fine if it's working. Let me just re-enable most of these. If I mostly can, I wish there was a enable all. That's actually good that they are disabled, because of the fact that I thought, yeah, the mods aren't working, but they're just not enabled at the moment, because I was doing the redirectory. So once they're enabled, I'm just kind of hoping it works. Enable, can I just click them and then they just... No. Or just click them and they just auto-enable. Disable, enable, 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 enable. Hold on, I'm going too fast to enable. I wish, as I said, I wish this thing had an enable all button. It would just be a lot easier.
Hey there, viewer. Sounds like you're feeling a bit down. Well, have no fear. Your pet ghost is here. Wanna hear a cheesy pun to cheer you up?
Cheesy
Lol.
pun.
Lol.
As I said, if I can get these mods to work, that would be really good. Continue, yes. I'm just going too fast for the thing to do anything. I'm just gonna wait until they're all done, because all of them should now be enabled. So the only thing is whether or not I can start the game up with them being active. Well, the good news is they are active and the game is running. And the good thing is we can play New Game Plus because I basically completed this before. Let me just get into the config, go to display, change this BenQ to the other display. Apply. Okay, that's now on that side. So now we have game. Oh, another thing is that before I forget, you only see. I'm probably going to take the game capture off of here. So when we do a be right back, we'll be here. So when we do a be right back, we'll be here, and you can see the check-in stats in the middle where the game capture would normally be, and you can see who's in the lead and who's already checked in already. These two, that's myself and somebody else, we were just testing the check-in and stuff from yesterday just to make sure it works. But as I said, the more you check in, the more in front you end up being, and it not just helps you, it helps me as well to make sure that people are checking in and being here and lurking and all that stuff, and it is actually appreciated as well. Before we forget as well, I'm going to need to start my Firebot for the auto shoutouts. As I said, same thing again, my Firebot's set up in a row system, so you only get shouted out if you're on the designated shout out row. If you want to be part of that, you'll need to kind of tell me and I'll put you in the shout out row. It's not a VIP role in the Twitch or anything like that. It needs to be done through my Firebot roles, so Firebot knows who's to get a shout out and whatnot. If you want to be part of the shout out role, you'll need to tell me the name, so I can add you to the shout out role. Yeah, as I said, it's going to be here as well, bigger, so you can actually see the check-in as well. But normally when we're playing a game, you'll not see this that much, only when we kind of start up the game. But most of the time when we're not playing a game, you'll see it there mostly. So yeah, so let's start up this game and hope and pray these mods actually work. The only downside is that I just don't know if they are working because there's usually a mod in here that changes my display before I start the game, but I don't know if that's just a false kind of thing or not. So let's start this game up. As I said, I just hope the mods are working, to be honest, because it would be a pity if they're really not working. Right, so we do have a choice because we've played this
Grab some
before.
booze and get ready for some ghostly puns. This is gonna be a beautiful stream.
Huh?
Whoa.
Why does this text bubble not come up? Yeah, so as I said, we can begin the game at the following fall from the Phoenix Gate.
Fanatical says.
Hello, how are you, fanatical dabs? Whoa.
Hey, Fanatical Dabs. Don't forget you can do the exclamation mark check-in if you like. As I said, I'm just trying to see if this will actually work. Where the mods for this game will actually work or not. Let me say, I'm actually having an issue if it's coming up. Oh, there we go. It took me kind of a while to get Vortex to work. Apparently I had to log into Vortex for it to work and then change the directory filter because it was on Redacted's mod manager, and Redacted's mod manager just doesn't work the way I kind of like it to work. So we are going to be playing a new game, but this is going to be a special new game plus because I've already played through this before. So it's still going to be the same new game and stuff like that, but it's going to be a plus side to it. I don't know what is going to be different about New Game Plus to this. I think it's just that you can skip the prologue part, or there could be something else to it. This is kind of being a trick question, because if I say yes, begin game, or if I do no, because no could be that it does skip the Phoenix Gate and the childhood part, which I don't want to skip that part. So I'm gonna try it with yes first. Usually with New Game Plus it gives me options that I can put in. Because with some the Tales games, when you play and finish the game and you go through New Game Plus and you earn points every time you do New Game Plus, and if you complete the New Game Plus you earn more points to play New Game Plus, and you get more perks to unlock for New Game Plus. But apparently they're not doing it for this. New Game Plus just seems to be like, it doesn't give you much of a respective. As I said, I'm not too sure if the mods are going to specifically work. They are enabled, they should work, but I don't know as of at the moment.
Sorry. What's our situation?
Let's just say Shiva and Titan's little spat hasn't made things any easier.
And?
It's as you thought. The Crusaders have sounded the retreat.
Then we follow.
We're down a man, Sergeant. If we return without Shiva's head, our fate will be no different from Biast's.
I'll take my chances with the Iron Blood. At least then I might die fighting. After you do, that is.
There's nothing else I can really kind of do at my side of having these mods to work, because they are enabled.
Now, if you don't mind, we have an army to chase. How do they expect us to kill some?
Oh, so the benefit for New Game Plus is that you can play through the new game and you keep all your powers, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Now, I've got a kind of funny feeling though that I really don't think I don't know. Because I would know that this would probably have worked because I do have an expander for potions and it should say 9 and 9 and stuff like that. And it still says 4-4, so the mods aren't clearly working just now, or they are working, they just don't work on this type of save, and you need to do a full clean save. I'm not entirely sure.
They don't.
Like, I As I said, they should basically be working because Vortex is just an automated thing. But if they're not working, then something's missing from it. Yeah, there might be some mods missing that's mandatory. Um, uh, hmm? uh, give me a sec. It's coming up with the wrong web page I want to get the mods from. Okay, so all games. Want to put in Final Fantasy 16, apply. Go here, Vortex. We do have a loaded mod manager, but let's find Final Fantasy mod loader for the loaded 2. So let's go into there, Vortex. And there's reloaded. Let's get pop though. So reloaded 2 is basically just for GitHub. go there, download. Continue.
It's like Sweden. Like, come on. Don't buy you a cinema.
It could be that some of the stuff might not be working because of the before and after thing. So I'll probably need to have a look at the before and after part if I can manage to get back in there. Open game mods, yeah, open game mods is definitely there. I just don't know if they're in the right place or not. Go back to here and do the skip. Now, if we can manage to get the skip to work, then technically in a way the mods should be working. So the boot screen skip should be enabled. Well, it says deploying, so that's what that says, not deleting. Show, yeah, so I want to show this. So Final Fantasy, after and before. Any version. I would still kind of want to use suggested, but it doesn't do anything though that I'm aware of, because suggested just basically doesn't know what to do. And the before and after suggestion, I don't know what that's supposed to be doing, because I usually do before. But I'm going to do it after, then before, and see if that changes anything. I'm not sure if it will. But let's see if it does skip. Don't know if it did, because the Square Enix still came up and whatnot. Oh, this is kind of annoying. It really is actually annoying right now. I can't seem to... No other game's managed. It's fine. See, normally I would probably look up a tutorial on Vortex and modding for Final Fantasy 16 just to make sure that I do have it working correctly. Because as I said, there could be something that I may be missing. Because it does open the game folder, that's fine, and then the mods folder does open. Well, I don't know, the game mods folder seems to just be opening up Final Fantasy itself and not where the mods should really be, because the mods should be loaded. So I don't know if the mod directory is kind of wrong, because I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case. Mods. Vortex mods, Final Fantasy 16.
Booze and booze, welcome to the spooky stream. Grab some snacks and get ready for some ghostly giggles. Lol.
I could try that, because I just did suggest it. Mods. Sorting folders, Final Fantasy 16. And apply that to, wait, you can put mods into the game directory. This directory is under well, yeah, I've changed the directory of the mods. So hopefully that kind of helps, I wonder. As I said, I'm hoping that helps, because I changed the mod directory. Because most of the mods are in the reloaded folder, so I'm wondering if they'll get it from there, maybe. I'm kind of seeing it basically not skipping that part. See, I can't actually really tell at this point if the mods are really technically working. Because the title screen doesn't really tell me much if they are technically working. Yeah, all the mods are enabled. I just can't really tell at this point if they're set up. Because normally when I put the mods in originally, it did come up saying you have to do something about the before and after. And I think they're already set to before the game, and I'm kind of wondering if that's set to after the game. And now the only problem is I don't know how to bring up that option anymore. Deploying mod, customize. Add route. Check for updates. There's nothing wrong with the mods, they're just not actually physically starting up correctly. So I'm not, as I said, I just don't know if this is set up to the correct directory. It's set to the game as it's supposed to be. Well, suggested I'm just gonna do it like that, but I don't know if it's still gonna work that way. Okay, so I need some other mod to be installed that can literally show me if it's changed or not, or if the mod is actually working, kind of thing. install this, this might not basically help, but if it does, this plays Young Clive DLC. Basically, I'm just kind of hoping that if you can play as Young Clive, then I know the DLC, the mods are working at that point. I just wish there was a title screen I can use or change. Like change the title screen display. Because if I can change the title screen display, then that would be good. I don't know if that'll work or not. I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't really need that reloaded to basically reinitialize the mods correctly. Is reloaded 2 I really do need to have a look at and go through a tutorial for, because reloaded 2 is really weird to set up and other various things. Tools, weapons, user interface. Visuals. Characters. See, it does have 21 audios, and if I can get a title screen audio, then I definitely know it's working. I'm trying to silent film music back. Now, try this. A do new game, plus I'm just kind of wondering if the voice line pack will be different or pretty much the same. If it's pretty much the same, I'm just gonna have to call it a day on Final Fantasy 16 for now until I find a walkthrough and how to get the mods to function correctly. Let's do a new game and actually see if it'll work from here.
It was Moss the Chronicler who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the crystal.
I'm just gonna skip that.
Yawns and drifts off. Looks like someone needs a nap. Sweet dreams. Lol. Snores softly. Z.
That it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Yeah, I don't think that actually worked. don't think that's kind of working there now.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else.
Yes, Sergeant.
And it's technically not.
I said
So for some reason the mods are there but they're just not initializing. I don't know what to basically do at this point. Mod folder. Yeah, I just don't think the mod folder is in the right bit. Employee might have to just go to game and stop managing and then fix it again, because I'm clearly sure it's not in the right directory for the mods to work and function. So final fantasy manage. You already have downloaded file to new. See, I kind of want to change stuff for this, but it's not letting me. So location. See, I'm not sure what sort location is, because I don't know if that's to do with the mod location. Try again. It's not the mod location. So it kind of wants the exe location for the game, so it knows where to start the game up. So how do we... click everything on It is something to do with Reloaded, I'm definitely sure, because of the fact that that probably needs to be done on something. Seems like I'm replacing files right now. Disable those extensions for the game. I want only Final Fantasy 16 to be enabled. This is the show thing I want to get at, but want to use suggested, but suggested doesn't really kind of help me much at the time. After and after. just keep it as any. As I said, if it's still not going to work, then I'm just going to stop it here because I want to go on a YouTube and figure out how to actually get this going correctly.
How do they expect us to kill something?
Because normally that would be free because I've got a mod for that.
Do this!
They don't. Only the girl holding its leash.
Yeah, it's definitely not working because, as I said, that should be 9 and 9, not 4 4. So what I'm going to do here though now is I'm going to stop the stream for now until we actually get this to work correctly, because I really don't want to play Final Fantasy 16 on stream until I actually get the mods working, and I really do want to find a good video that can really help me figure out how to fix this and how to get it working. So we will be back on later if we manage to get this working. So as I said guys, just look on the discords and stuff until I go live again. But as I said guys, I'll catch you in a few hours. It might take longer, but I will be back on as soon as I get